What's up, everybody? Jason here with another Bad Batch Season 2 review. Today I'll be talking about Episode 3, titled The Solitary Clone. And before I get started, I want to issue a massive spoiler warning. If you haven't watched this week's episode of The Bad Batch, I will be talking spoilers. So leave this video, head on over to Disney Plus, go check it out, then come on back and we can talk about it. But now that we're past the spoiler alert, let's go ahead and dive into the video, shall we? What made The Solitary Clone an interesting episode is that it shifts the perspective a bit. Last two episodes, we were with the core team of Clone Batch 99, but now we're with Crosshair, who has sided with the Empire, for better or for worse. He was left for dead on Kamino for 32 days, or 32 rotations as they call it in the Star Wars universe. Bear in mind that the Batch did offer to let him come with them, but he decided to take his chances with the Empire. So he's got a lot of stuff to figure out. Also, Cody's back. Commander Cody was in charge of this mission, what would appear to be insurgency on a planet called Desix. That is a separatist-controlled world that wants to maintain its sovereignty. The planet, of course, is led by a self-appointed governor, Amos. She kidnaps the official imperial governor, and she will return him in exchange for the Empire recognizing Desix's sovereignty. Now, of course, Cody, Crosshair, and the rest of the squad is sent along this mission, not with the purpose of a peaceful treaty, but with the purpose of killing this Governor Amos and restoring the rightful hierarchy of power there on the planet. We get to see battle droids again. Now, I didn't think we'd see battle droids again this soon, although it is quite soon after the events of Revenge of the Sith, so, I mean, it is plausible. We did see that there were others who ignored the shutdown order, like Kalani in Rebels, and this is just another one who either ignored the shutdown order or abided by it, saw what was happening, and reprogrammed the droids to be her personal army. What makes this episode so impressive to me is that the lines here are really blurred. Typically with stuff like this in Star Wars, you know, when you get like bounty hunters and things like that, that's when you fall into gray areas. You're not sure who to root for. And this is just one of those examples. You've got the clones who are now working for the Empire, and you've got the battle droids who are actually fighting for freedom, which, according to Amos, is what Dooku was fighting for. Dooku was fighting for freedom. Of course, we know the truth. He wasn't actually fighting for freedom. What he was fighting for was his own aspirations, not the aspirations of anyone else, not the betterment of anyone else. But it makes it interesting because really the clones are the bad guys. In the grand scheme of things, the clones are on the wrong side of things this time. And the battle droids are actually on the right side. And we're used to from seeing, because it kind of took me back to the Clone Wars. We're used to seeing from the Clone Wars, those sides are flipped. So we're rooting for the clones and, hoping that the battle droids lose. But in this case, it's the other way around. And it's interesting to look at the perspective of clones who are still kind of questioning, what's really going on? Is this the right thing? I mean, Cody says it right off the bat. He says, some people questioned Order 66. Of course, Crosshair is sticking with that's what we're supposed to do. we're good soldiers, and he says good soldiers follow orders. But by the end of it, his position has definitely shifted because now he's gone AWOL. And we're kind of starting to also see Crosshair kind of questioning things. I mean, Admiral Rampart was so quick to dismiss Cody, and heck, didn't even know his name. He only knew him by his designation. That just goes to show you that the Empire really does not care. And what Crosshair had was a family. And that's really what makes him the solitary clone. He pushed his family away in exchange for a sense of duty, his sense of right, what he believed, what he was programmed to believe in, and eventually what he believed in. Being a good soldier, following orders, and fighting for the Empire. And ultimately, we might see him return to Clone Force 99. Who knows? I certainly hope so. It's really too early to tell. But I honestly thought this was a much more interesting episode than the previous two. The previous two were very straightforward. We knew who the good guys were. We knew who the bad guys were. We were just, it was just a standard run-of-the-mill good guys versus bad guys adventure. But this episode really threw in so many shades of gray. You weren't sure who to really push for in the end. And ultimately, it asks some pretty hard questions. But because it's so early in the season, those are questions that we're not exactly ready to answer yet. So we'll see moving forward. In my final analysis, I'd give this episode a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was pretty good. I really did. And I can't wait to see where these threads that were introduced in this episode lead us through to the end of the season. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you thought of the Bad Batch, the solitary clone, down in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that like button. If you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell to get updates on all my future videos. And you can also follow me on Facebook at J-Man's Cave, where you'll also get other updates. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, as always. And until next time, may the Force be with you. Bye. What do we got going on over here? What's this? She-Hulk getting karate lessons from Johnny Lawrence?